Hey team, this is Evolve Strong with CJ, and I am CJ, and I help you lose 10 pounds in 5 inches in 28 days. So listen up. I always get asked, how do I get motivated? And the second part is, I was motivated, but then I lost my motivation. How do I regain it? So let me tell you a little bit about my thoughts on this. And I've had to dive deep a little bit, and I've been able to read a couple books on self-help, and there are three main areas that we have to really focus and hone in on in order to get motivated to do something. Now, I believe very strongly, and I mean, this is a side, this isn't what I think. I believe that the pain of staying the same, when it becomes greater than the pain of change, then I believe motivation begins to occur. Let me repeat that again. This is just baseline, okay? When the pain of remaining the same becomes greater than the pain of change or the transitionary period, that is when real motivation occurs. That's like you get a heart attack, you've been diagnosed with diabetes, you're going to get your leg amputated because you don't have blood flow, or you fell down and can't get up and you scared the shit out of you. These are the type of things that occur that are like big movements, right? And sometimes, people just quit cold turkey smoking because, they realize that they're going to die, and they're going to have a poor quality of life. The likelihood of them having a poor quality of life later on in years is greater. They understand that. Now, let's talk about the three fundamental principles that are what I've come across and that I want to teach to you. And this is especially for fitness, because this is my realm. How do we get motivated to do this? So let's talk about number one. Number one, raise your ambitions. For real, guys. Raise your ambitions. What happens when all you think about is just the day-to-day morass, right? You got to go to work, you got to pay the bills, you got to pay rent, you got to pay the electric, you got to pay your taxes, you go to sleep. Got to get up, do it again. Got to get up, do it again. If you're in that spin wheel, guys, and you have no higher ambitions than that, guys, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to do anything, right? I have some very big, hairy, audacious fucking goals. And a lot of people think, sometimes that, oh, these are just pie in the sky. Fuck that. During COVID, I wrote on the back of my board here, I'm very proud of this. I wrote on the back of the board during COVID, it was March of 2020, when everything just went to shit. I had to think of something much greater than myself, much greater than in the moment of where I wanted to be. So I have that ambition way far ahead. And guess what? January 2023, I'm going to meet that goal. And it's huge. It quadrupled my business. And it's where I'm at. And I didn't go in the manner in which I was supposed to get there, but I'll tell you this much: we're getting there. We're getting a brand new state-of-the-art facility. Our membership is growing. We are number one in a lot of areas for our training staff. We're doing fantastic right here in regards to the goals, right? Raise your ambitions, guys. If you need to lose weight, and you keep looking at yourself in the mirror saying that you have to, raise your ambitions. Say, yes, in 2 months, I'm going to be down 20 pounds and I'm going to be down 4 pant sizes. That's an ambition, and stick with it. Because once you have that goal in front of you and you know what you're going to do, you'll get there. Now, you got to believe in it, though. You got to believe in it. If you want to get up on stage and be a fitness model, or you want to go to the beach and feel confident shirtless, it's a process, but you can do it once you set that ambition and go for it. So set your ambitions high, okay? That's number one. Think of pie in the sky. Think about this. You may not reach Mars, but you're going to maybe hit the moon, right? So that's number one. Raise your ambitions. That's big. Want more out of life. Want more out of yourself. Number two, motivation needs motion. Let me repeat that again. Motivation needs motion. You have to act. You have to do shit. You have to, if just, and it doesn't mean you have to go run a marathon tomorrow to lose this weight. No, what it means is getting up in the morning, putting your tennis shoes on, getting up, maybe going one time around the block. That's a start. That is motion, right? That is where you need to go. Listen, when I found myself in 2008, the end of a bottle, homeless in my truck, and I had no money left, the pain of remaining the same became much greater than the pain of going to getting a fucking job. And, I had applied to different places. Anyways, my reputation was shot at the time. So I cleaned toilets. You know what? I became the best toilet cleaner in the world. And it was so humbling. It was embarrassing at first. But especially when I would see business people that I was once doing business with in my big company, in the construction company at Sports and Wellness, and I'm cleaning the locker rooms and the toilets, and they're coming in and saying, "Hey, CJ, what's going on?" That was embarrassing. You know what? I got through it. And through that, I learned a big lesson. I had to go in and work every single day, but I had bigger ambitions at that time. That's when I started the group fitness. I was a horrible group fitness instructor at the beginning. But then I set myself, so I'm going to be number one. And I did. I became number one. And then, because of just circumstances, I said, I'm going to start my own company again, and I'm going to do this. And lo and behold, my guys, first 3 years, we were doing great. And then boom, had to close that down. Big mess again on the front page. Had to work out in parks. But my ambitions were higher. I knew that I wasn't going to fail. It took me freaking 10 years to get to this point. Through the good grace of God, great friends, great team like Christine and those who have stuck with us all the way through, Goody, Nancy, all these guys, man, they've been with me since the beginning. Gary, Gretchen, roadies, these guys are just stuck. You know what? We're doing it. But it took me time. But it took me motion every single fucking day. Every day I have to do the grit and grind. This morning, Sue came in this morning and says, "Oh, you're mopping the floors?" Hell yeah, I'm mopping the floors. I'm cleaning the restrooms, making sure things are good. I got to do it. Those are things, because if the club isn't clean and happy, I have a staff member that's out on vacation. I gotta get this done, right? That's the daily grind. I got to do these podcasts. I got to do the blogs. I got to be on social media. I got to teach my classes. I got to continually promote. I got to. I got to do it day in and out. That's the motion, and that's the inertia. Now, once you start getting the motion going, then that motivation starts hitting, because then eventually you do start growing again. Eventually, things do start coming into place. It's not going to be the way you planned. It never will. So every week, if you show up and do a class every week, if you show up and do your diet log, if you show up and do what we tell you to do, you're going to get results. And that is how you start getting motivation. But you got to show up. You just got to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't just, we're going to do it tomorrow, whatever. No, you just got to fucking do it. That, in order to be motivated, you got to start the motion, period. And whatever you're doing, if you're writing a book, you got to write a page. If you're going to be a cook, you got to learn how to freaking burn a whole bunch of eggs, right? Number 3, it's an interesting deal here. In order to sustain motivation, you need to have momentum. Momentum's a big deal. So I have a new shred client. Her name is Vicky, and she is just phenomenal. She's just a sweet, sweet lady. The whole reason that she came to Shred, well, she was a referral, which I thank you so much, Miss Robin. You both referred Martha and Vicky. Thank you very much. I appreciate that a lot. But she came because she was on the floor one day with her grandkids, and she couldn't get up. It was the first time where she actually could not get up off of the floor. She said it was embarrassing. It was tough. She couldn't tie the shoes of her grandkids, is what it was, on the floor. 3 weeks in, she's getting up and down off of the floor. She's doing a side plank today for the first time. She comes up to me and tells me, she actually goes down and does like this. She goes down into a ball, bring it back up, and she says, CJ, look at that. She did a jumping jack for the other day. She actually did her first sit-up, and now she doesn't stop her sit-ups, right? These are some cool things, right? Remember, if you don't use it, you lose it. Period. If you don't use it, you lose it. That's momentum. That's inertia, right? Objects that stay in motion. Objects in motion stay in motion. Objects that are still stay still. Period. What are you? Where are you at? So it's a vicious cycle. If you stop, you're done. If you stop, you're dumb. Not dumb. Well, that was a Freudian slip. But if you stop, you're done. So let's go through these again. Number one. Well, let's do the foundation. If the pain of remaining the same becomes greater than the pain of change, you're gonna this is really how you get motivated to change. But number two, you got to raise your ambitions, guys. Quit thinking that life is just the way it is. Get more out of it. Dream bigger. I have the same amount of time as you do every single day. I put my pants on just like you do. I have to do all the things you do, and I have the same amount of time during the day. I've had the same opportunity. Actually, to tell you the truth, fuck, I went from rags to riches down to rags, and then started my company. It was on the front page as the worst business person in the world. And then, I mean, I've had the struggles, guys. I mean, I've had struggles. But you know what? I still fucking show up, and I've done it. I'm doing it. I'm just getting started. So don't bitch about that, right? You just gotta raise your ambitions. You want more out of life. Number two, motivation needs movement. You need to do something. You need to act. And if you don't even know how to act, just do something. You know, quit fiddling on Facebook, quit fiddling on social media, quit fiddling. Get your shit, write a page for your book, get your shoes on, get walking, you know, burn the eggs, do what you need to do, start. Okay, it needs motion. You need to do it every single day. Third, in order to stay motivated, you need momentum. Oh, and don't tell me, oh, I was motivated, then I broke my leg and whatever. You know what? I just went through a freaking meniscus tear. I didn't skip a fucking beat. I did what I could. Quit using these excuses. Stop. We all have hardships. We all have heartaches. We all have shit. Right? Hey, that's my love for you today. I love you guys. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you can take this for what it is. Okay? Appreciate. Love you guys. And that's about it from my heart to yours. Remember, start strong, stay strong, be evolving, most strong. Later.